Welcome to Thriving on Purpose, the YouTube channel. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Thriving on Purpose, the YouTube channel, where we share stories of hope, inspiration, and determination of women who have gone through a breast cancer journey so that we can let other ladies know that who are coming behind us, who are on their journey. We want you to know that not only can life be good after breast cancer, but it can be better than ever before. And today I am your host, D. Manuel Cloud. I am a two-time breast cancer survivor, a breast cancer recovery strategist, an international speaker, and also a best-selling author. And today we have with us the lovely Tawana Bradley, who's going to be sharing her story with us. Thank you, Tawana, for being here.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure.
So, Tawana, I always like to start out these interviews by asking the age you were at the time of your diagnosis and the type of breast cancer you were diagnosed with. And the reason I ask this question is because I know for a lot of ladies, when we get diagnosed, we immediately start calculating our mortality rate, right? And it's one of the things that we like to know and share in common. So tell us the age of your diagnosis and the type of breast cancer.
Okay, so I was 51 when I was diagnosed. And I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, triple negative breast cancer,
Triple
which is
negative.
which is one of the rare types.
Yes, and it's also one of the more aggressive types.
Yeah, very, very aggressive.
Wow. So what year were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed in 2017.
Okay.
I had a reoccurrence in 2021
Okay.
and 2022.
So you are a three-time survivor.
Yes, and I'm currently still in treatment.
Currently still in treatment. I love it. So you're going to be able to talk to us from the space of being in the thick of it,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I
yes.
love that. So I think this is going to be a very powerful episode, and I'm so glad that you're here. So you're still in treatment. What type of treatment? Well, share with us what treatment plan was chosen for you with your diagnosis in 2017 and what type of treatment you're going through now.
Okay. Well, as far as my treatment that was I didn't choose anything. It was chosen for me because I just remember saying, well, I hope I don't have to have a mastectomy. I hope I don't have to have chemo. I hope I everything I hope for, not for. They was like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. So I had a mastectomy. I had chemo, 4 months, and I had 33 radiation treatments.
Mm.
So I was in remission for 3 years to the date
Oh,
of my
wow.
last diagnosis. So I'm my first, yes.
Okay. And when you say you're undergoing treatment now, what treatments are you undergoing now?
Okay, so in 2021, I was diagnosed with the reoccurrence. And
Mhm.
at that time, I had no idea that that was even possible. I'm like, well, they took I had a mastectomy, so, but I had those questions, and that's the issue. I had those questions, like, how do he know I'm in remission? I wasn't getting any scans or any tests or anything, but the questions came too late. So my 3 month evaluation, I felt 3 lumps.
Mm.
So I was like, oh yeah, and I'm just naive. I'm like, oh, it's probably nothing. So yeah, it was. So it was the cancer had returned. So
Okay.
I had surgery to remove that. I ended up with a I'm sorry, hematoma. And the margins were not clear. So I had to go back in for a second surgery.
Okay.
They did the second surgery. That was supposedly clean. Um, then I developed an infection. So I ended up with like I want to say, an inch and a half hole in my chest. So I had
Mm.
no idea how that was going to heal. I didn't know. So I worked with the nurse. I did finally, it finally closed up. And so I was able to do, because what they recommended was the exact same treatment: chemo, radiation, and I had already had the surgery. So I thought about it. I went in to see my oncologist about it, and he proceeded to tell me. So I was asking questions like, okay, so what's next? And he was like, well, what do you think is next? I mean, just, I don't know about that. But anyway, so he said, oh, it's coming back. It's coming back, but he never would say when. So I said, okay. So I walked out and decided that I was going for a second opinion.
I love it.
Yeah. So I contacted the Cancer Treatment Center of America, which is located in Illinois. Within a week, I flew out. Um, and that's where I've been going since 2021.
Right.
Uh, my journey there has been interesting also. So when I showed up, I had because it was like I had to heal this hole. So by the time I showed up, it had came back. So what he decided, the oncologist there, what he decided that we were gonna just treat it. And so that's what I did. So I went through chemo, and then I went through the chemo pills, the just a lot of a lot of treatment, and none of it worked.
Mhm.
But initially, when I first got there, he did a test on the biopsy tissue and
Mhm.
found out that I qualified for immunotherapy. So that's what I'm currently doing, immunotherapy. But I had a reoccurrence again in 2022 where it metastasized to my uh, to the skin, which upgraded me to stage 4
Mhm.
metastatic breast cancer.
Mhm.
Um, so I ended up having surgery, and then I had to go through. They didn't want to do radiation, but I'm like, let's do it. So I did 3 weeks of radiation twice a day, 30 treatments after the surgery. So now what I'm doing every 3 weeks, I go to Zion and I get immunotherapy, which is Keytruda.
Okay.
Infusion. It's about maybe an hour tops. And I make that, it's a journey. I'll get on a train and just go, and it's wonderful. So yeah, so that's where I'm at now with my treatment.
Got it. So that's that we unpacked a lot. So
Yeah.
you were diagnosed, we unpacked a lot. You were diagnosed in 2017 with inductal carcinoma, triple negative, right?
Yes.
I got that right. And then now you are considered
And
uh,
I'm sorry, I was diagnosed with stage 2B.
stage 2B.
Yes.
Got it. And so now you're considered metastatic
Yes.
because it attached to your skin.
Yes.
And you're going through immunotherapy with Keytruda.
Yes.
So how has that experience been on Keytruda?
Well, and I've been on Keytruda consistently for a little over a year. I started on my birthday last year. So we're gonna do a 2-year maintenance with the immunotherapy.
Okay.
So yeah, so I made it through a year and a few months. And that's been yeah, it's been, I don't know. Like I said, it's a journey. So it's been interesting as far as like the side effects. I have like back pain, but yeah. that's part of life. I'm still living, breathing, doing the stuff I love to do. Yeah. So I don't I just felt like um one of my favorite authors, and she said, I would have never chosen this path, but I'm glad it's me here. So that's how I feel about this.
I love it.
Because
Now you said,
I know how to, I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just it's how I look at this diagnosis, and it's a journey. It's not a fight for me.
The journey. I love that. Now you said you had a mastectomy. Did you have a double mastectomy or a
No,
unilateral?
a unilateral, just yes.
Okay, and so when it came back, did it
Mhm.
come back in the same breast or did it come back in the other breast?
No, it actually came back in the same spot as it did when I had the breast. That's why I didn't think, I'm like, can you get breast? I didn't have, I didn't know. I didn't do
Yeah.
my research. The doctor didn't say, hey, there's a possibility it can come back. So I was clueless.
No, and you know what? I did the same thing. I didn't do any research my first time at
Yeah.
all. I just kind of let the medical team did what they want,
Yes,
what they recommended, and I followed their instructions to the letter and
same here.
I'm sorry, to the letter and did whatever they told me to do, right? And so what you just taught us is that one of the things that I know for certain, because mine came back in the exact same spot, is that that's what's very common. When
Yeah.
it returns, it often returns in the exact same location, right? But one of the things that you just taught us is that even after a mastectomy, you can have a recurrence in the affected breast that you've had the mastectomy in,
Yeah.
right? And in the
Yes.
exact same location. So thank you for educating us,
Yeah.
right? Um, and now that you're on Keytruda and you're experiencing back pain, what are you doing for the back pain, if anything?
Well, I see a chiropractor because at this hospital I go to, which is now called City of Hope, they offer holistic treatment. Yeah, so they work cancer. It's literally a journey because I get Reiki, for the pain. I see a chiropractor, a pain doctor. So they like for Motrin, and if I want to, have a cortisone shot or something like that, I can. It's wonderful. It's like I could not have asked for. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine that something like this exists. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so where I'm going, it's nothing. It's okay. I have back pain. I put a a belt on, yeah, a waist trainer,
Uh-huh.
and get my life. That's what I
And
do.
get your life. I love it. You said I put this waist trainer on and I get my life.
Yes, that's what I do. Get my life. So
So tell me, what has been the biggest challenge for you in all of this?
well, it was the beginning. It was the beginning, being able to tell my family,
Mhm.
because we look at cancer as a death sentence. So in the beginning, that's what I was thinking. How do you tell your family you're going to die? And with me, I was always taking care of other people. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I can't hurt them like I have cancer, and I'm anyway. But that was the hardest part for me. My
Mm,
family, uh,
telling your family.
telling my family, yes. Mhm.
Okay, and how are
It was
they?
yeah.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, no. I'm now that they know, they are huge support, huge, and it's emotional. A lot of
Yeah.
it's just emotional. It's not physical, because the type of person I am, that was difficult, allowing people to help me. But
You know what? And that's a common theme Tawana, that I'm finding in many of the breast cancer survivors that I'm talking to, right, that have been on this journey. We are usually the ones who are taking care of everyone else.
Yeah.
And so the vulnerability that it takes to allow people to come in and be there for us,
Yeah.
we find it challenging at first, right? And one of the, I did an interview right before yours with a lovely woman, Nakia Hardy. And one of the things that we talked about is how vulnerability is a superpower,
Yeah.
right? And how being able to allow people to be there for you, there is strength in that, right? That we may not have recognized before. And
Yeah.
so I love that you were able to allow your family to be there for you. And it's different when you go from being the caregiver to being the one who's being cared for,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so how's that experience been?
Oh, it's been especially with the, like I said, the back pain. I have to ask my children, uh, my adult children, can you help your mother? So that's been humbling to say the
Mhm,
least, because
mhm.
how can I be the pillar, the head of the family and need help? But I'm teaching them that it's okay, because when you're that's a blessing from God. So, someone is offering you to help and you slapping their hands away. Yeah, you're slapping God's blessings. So, yeah,
I love that.
I
I love
surrender.
that. It is a blessing from God to have other people who are willing to be there to support
Yes.
you. And when we are turning down that blessing, we're slapping God's hand away. I love that
Yeah.
analogy. That's
Yeah.
powerful, Tawana. Thank you for sharing that. So, you ladies, what I want you to take away from that is that being vulnerable and allowing people to be there for you is a blessing from God. And that when we refuse that help, we're refusing God's help,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, so tell me, what beauty did you find in the breakdown? And what I mean by that is, what has this whole experience taught you, or left you that was better than before?
Well, that it taught me how to forgive. And in that
Mhm.
in that forgiveness and on that journey, when I embraced that journey, I found love. And love is so delicious. I love is so delicious to be able to demonstrate, experience, and share love. I'm just welling up with it right now. That's what I found. And if you had looked at the dictionary before 2017, if you had looked in the dictionary and looked up victim, trust me, my picture would have been there. Yeah. I was just this huge victim. And so what I had to do, because I feel that my cancer was a manifestation of resentment, bitterness. I was a codependent, and you know how that looks. Codependent, like, oh, I'll do it. And in the background, mad because people are asking you to do things.
Mhm.
So I just harbored a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of fear. Um, so I had to uncover all of that. I had to heal that. And so I began this forgiveness journey. And that's where I'm at. And it's a everyday process. And it's delicious because I don't know, if I have a gripe with someone, I have to tell myself, you don't know. So, because we think we know
Right.
why somebody did something. You have no idea. So, so I'm like, that's my everyday forgiveness. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Right.
Yeah. You don't.
Communication can cure so much, right?
Yeah.
Just being, and I love that you're on this forgiveness journey. Tell us what's the beauty in that forgiveness journey. Tell us what that's been like for you.
Oh, it opened me up to, like I said, to receive love. my family I was distanced from, and because I like I say, I felt like a victim, but I don't even think about the things that happened. I was a victim of domestic violence, just many things, so I rightfully so, should have been a little pissed, but I was able to forgive that, but it has opened me up to embrace people. Right now I work with victims of domestic violence. I'm a shelter advocate, so um, it helps me to see people differently. You know, to understand we all have a story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And not take life personal. I don't have to take life personally. Nothing is happening to me. It's all happening for me.
Mm.
To love, for me to um forgive. Like I say, life is, if you think about it on those terms, it's delicious because you don't have that stuff weighing you down. You get
Absolutely.
moments of just sheer joy just because you're alive.
Absolutely.
And so,
Absolutely.
so that's what
Absolutely.
cancer has brought to the table. The question, why do you want to live?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to live? Because you're scared to die, but you wasn't living before. So what are you gonna do different?
And so when you answer that question for yourself, Tawana, why do you want to live? What does that look like?
Oh, that looks like I don't want anyone to suffer like I suffer in silence, and walk around bitter, and bitter with a smile. Um,
Mm,
I want I see, like I say, I work with victims of trauma. And so just that, if I can help someone just see that life is not just a bunch of random incidents that causes you pain, if I can help someone forgive and let go of garbage that's, they're tugging around in their life, if I can do that, that's why, that's why. And I do that. I write poetry, and that's delicious. So, um, and I write books. If it comes to my mind, like, I dealt with that. So
uh-huh.
I'm going to write a ebook, that deals with learning to love yourself, because I truly, honestly hated myself. Yeah.
Mm,
And that was the first thing, forgive yourself, because if you don't have anything to give, and so I have a
yeah.
lot of love to give, to share. I mean, to share, to demonstrate, and I want to experience it myself. So,
Amen. So I heard you say that one of the reasons you want to live is to be able to give back to other people so that they don't have to suffer the way that you suffered,
yes, yes,
right? That they can learn that life is not a series of random acts, but everything is happening for us and not to us. And I believe that it happens for us to elevate us to our next level, to
yes, yes.
instill something in us that we're going to need not only for ourselves in
I
our
know.
next chapter, but so that we can then turn around and be of service and give that thing back to other people.
Yes, 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 yes.
I love it. Okay. So tell me, Tawana, what it means to you to thrive and how that shows up in your life.
For me to thrive, it's to wake up every day, and give thanks for whatever it is. I have to share this quick. My cats, both of them, my companions for 15 years, both of them died a month apart. And just what I thought about is what the value they brought to my life. And I was willing to let them go. And but the gratitude. Uh,
Gratitude.
it's not
Absolutely.
about self like, oh, what am I doing? No, it was like, thank you. And I told them both in their last days, thank you for walking this
Absolutely.
journey with me. Um, so that's what it means to thrive. It for me is to thrive means to be grateful because God gave you this life. Be grateful for it. You get to eat good food. You get to see, experience wonderful people. You get to help people. Life is good. It's what you
Absolutely.
get to say, hey, this is how I'm gonna experience my life. I can experience, I already did as a victim or as a lover of life. So I
From
love life.
victim
And
to
that's for
lover of life.
me, continuing to love life is how I thrive. How I thrive is being a demonstration of that.
I love that you said you went from being a victim to being a lover of life,
Yes.
right? That's beautiful. So tell us what you're up to now. I know that you said that you work with victims of domestic violence. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Well, I'm a shelter advocate, and I'll also share this. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 11 years, and I had to relocate to remove myself from that. The shelter I currently work at is how I was able to make that transition. So I went back. And over the years, I've volunteered, but now, I work part-time there, and it's a pleasure of mine. It's just like I feel like that I was blessed with something. So that I go in and encourage the women and let them know how beautiful they are, and if you need anything, come and talk to me. It's such a pleasure. Um that's something I can do for you. Yeah.
I love it.
Volunteer I could do that all day, all
I
day.
love
And
it.
I don't expect anything from them. Yeah.
That's
So, and I
beautiful.
hope that the women that encounter me feels that, you know, feels the love I have for them just as another human being.
I
I'm
don't
not
doubt it.
above them and I'm not below them. I said, this is our home. Because I'm there, the hours I'm there, this is our home. Let's make it nice, clean, and loving. So,
I love it. You talk a lot about love, Tawana, and I want you to know that
I'm the love police. Okay.
I believe that the women you encounter can feel your love, right? And your
Um,
support. And I love that you've done this 180 where you went back to the place that supported and helped you to give back to that community, right? I believe that that's God led and you're doing God's work. So thank you for who you are in the world and for how you show up for these women. I just want to personally thank you for that.
well, thank you. It is definitely my pleasure.
I love
Yes.
it. I love it. So is there anything you would want to say or share with the audience before we disconnect?
Well, I just want to share. I am a forgiveness coach, also life coach. A life coach that specializes in forgiveness. Um, so I would like to just share, just begin a journey. Baby steps. Start by forgiving yourself daily. If you left the top off the toothpaste and you're in the bathroom, you're like, why did I? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's it. Forgive yourself for everything, no matter how small it is,
I love
and
it.
start that journey.
The
It's
forgiveness journey,
delicious.
starting with self.
Yes.
I
That's
love
what
it.
I would like to live.
I love it. A forgiveness journey, ladies, starting with yourself. Forgive yourself for the things that you didn't know. Forgive
Yeah.
yourself for any mistakes that you perceive you have made. I believe that mistakes are just life correcting us and putting us on the right path, right? So
Yes.
forgive yourself for any perceived mistakes. And most of all, forgive others for hurting you, right?
Yeah.
Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And to hold on to resentment is like drinking poison and waiting on someone else to die,
Oh,
right? Because it does
definitely.
more harm to ourselves, our mental, our physical well being than it does to the other person. They are going on with their life. So you may as well forgive them so that you can set yourself free. I
Ex-
love that, Tawana. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your story, for sharing your journey with us. Ladies, this has been another episode of Thriving on Purpose, the YouTube channel, where we share stories of hope, inspiration, and determination so that you can know that not only can life be good after breast cancer, but it can be better than ever before. And so thank you, Tawana, for sharing with us. If you love
Thank
what you've
you.
heard today, please subscribe to our channel, like this episode, and turn on your notifications so you can be notified when we drop new episodes. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Tawana. Y'all, we love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all be sweet and be blessed. Bye for now. For more inspirational stories like these, please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to turn on your notifications. Thank you for rocking with us. And remember, we're thriving on purpose.